正解。
Rebirth of the Malicious Empress of Military Lineage. Chapter 193, Parting. Here to marry you, Shen Zhao. His tone of voice was careless, but his hand gesture of reaching out was however serious. Such an arrogant, lawless and unbinding manner made others felt that everything seemed to have quieted down, and this male's appearance was deeply engraved on everyone's heart, making it unforgettable. Everyone was silent. Shen Miao's head was covered and could not see anything, thus she could only hear the sound coming in front of her. She instinctively looked up and in the next moment felt that her hand was being lifted up and something was worn around her fingers. It was a slightly cool and soft feeling that made her somewhat stunned. The people around, however, breathed in a cold breath. In all dynasties, princes of the first rank would have their own thumb rings, and this thumb ring was not just an accessory, as it was an important symbol of their identity. By using this thumb ring, one would be able to freely order one's subordinate. Naturally, no matter where the imperial relatives went, everyone would recognize them, and there was no need to use this thumb ring. But one had never seen a prince of first rank giving his thumb ring to another. What was gifted was not only a thumb ring. This meant that Prince Ruai had given arbitrary power to Shen Miao to instruct his subordinates. Once Shen Miao had this thumb ring, there was no difference between facing her and Prince Ruai. This was giving up his power to another, and the person who he gave to was a female. One had seen others dote on their wives, but one had never seen such doting. The young females surrounding were just too envious of it. Even though Prince Ruai was wearing a mask, he was a noble and generous. Thus there would be birds and bees flying around. Shen Miao was not a national beauty, so she would be despised by Prince Ruai very soon, who knew that the groom would directly slap their faces. In this world, it was most likely the first time one doted on one's wife like this. Why was it that it was the fifth young Shen lady that had such fortune? One did not know what blessings had she cultivated in her past life. However, be it was unfortunate or blessings, everyone had not thought about Shen Miao's experience in her past life. Prince Ruai placed the thumb ring onto Shen Miao's hands, and his thin lips hooked up before he leaned over slightly and kissed the back of Shen Miao's hand. The feeling was slightly numbing, and naturally Shen Miao guessed what it was and could not help but redden her face. Fortunately, there was a veil covering her head and others was unable to see her. Prince Ruai got up and Mai Niangzi quickly sang with a smile, "Bringing the betrothal gifts and the dowry is carried out." After all the dowries were moved, the mother had to personally feed rice dumplings to the bride. The dumplings were made small-sized, and there was a mixture of peanuts, lotus seeds and sesame seeds, as it has the meaning of giving birth early. Lu Zuyan took the small spoon as Shen Miao slightly lifted the corner of the veil and swallowed the dumpling that Lu Zuyan fed. Lu Zuyan's eyes were somewhat moist. Zhao. After marrying, one must not take grievances. Shen Miao's heart also moved. "I understand, mother." Shen Xin turned his back around and quietly wiped the tears from the corner of his eyes. He was a male and had led countless of generals and soldiers, thus it was unspeakable for one to tear in front of others. However, he was feeling very upset in his heart towards Shen Miao. Shen Xin always felt that he had owed her too much, especially after the conversation with Zi Jingxing. He only then knew that all along they thought that Shen Miao was raised in a warm nest, but did not know that there were snakes, bugs, rats and ants in the nest. In those many moons, unknowingly she had grown up. Before he had the chance to compensate or to do anything, Shen Miao had married off, from the crying baby to the little girl who started to talk to the current young lady who was wearing a wedding dress. Shen Xin felt a lot of emotions. Shen Kaiyu walked over, as the brothers of the bride had the responsibility to carry the bride up the wedding sedan. Shen Miao lay on top of Shen Kaiyu's back as Shen Kaiyu walked exceptionally slow. As he walked, he said softly, "Younger sister, you are too thin. The next time when I see you after you are married to Great Liang and you are thinner than today, I will get it even with Prince Ruai." Shen Miao, "Quickly give birth to a niece for me. A nephew is also alright." Shen Kaiyu's voice was soft and silly, without any of the bravery and hot blood in the battlefield. "I will visit you." Shen Miao buried her head in Shen Kaiyu's neck and spoke to him like when she was young. "You must." When Prince Ruai, who was on the horse, saw this scene, His brows and heart jumped. After Shen Qiu carried Shen Miao onto the wedding sedan, Mai Niangzi started singing. The grand events under heavens is like the joy of marriage. The gentlemen do not ask about saints. With a basket of food and a ladle to drink, one would not have worries and always have joy that there would not be any violation towards the groom in 3 months. The fifth lady of the Shen family also have beauty. In the beginning Nuwa, creator of humans in mythology, mend the skies with thousands of stones. The restoration did not stop there and continued in this graceful female. The heavens birth people and each living thing has its principle. The groom has a majestic appearance and have an elegant bearing that is unchangeable even in front of numerous of people. The fifth lady of the Shen family is a citizen of Ding capital of Mingqi, has tender sentiments and cherish memories. She is soft-spoken, warm, extraordinary and charmingly refined. Her appearance is dignified and able to hold one's bearing and voice are not comparable. The marriage today is good and as a both married, may they be in conjugal love and inseparable. One day that was started, 2 surnames come in mutual harmony, more than 3 celebrations, with 4 tools of beauty and may the family prosper 5 generations running. The 6 rituals are completed. The 7 virtuous acts are concluded, assembling all 8 sides, in harmony with 9 songs, a perfect 10 like the admired Luan, mythical bird related to the phoenix. A pair of lovers leaving a small shadow. A perfect marriage that was made from numerous advisors. Lift the wedding sedan. The wedding is completed. Mai Niangzi's voice was filled with joy and was loud and clear. Her voice was also great when singing that when she finished singing, everyone was applauding and cheering. The servants that were preparing outside started to scatter gold-plated copper coins to the streets. It looked good as one group came up to speak auspicious things while another quickly picking up the money in joy. The entire event was extraordinarily lively. Shen Miao sat in the wedding sedan and even though she could not see what was going on outside, she could hear everything clearly. The liveliness and joy made her heart pick up. She comforted herself. This was not her first time on a wedding sedan, so why her nervousness appear again? Her hands was somewhat shaking and as she looked down, she saw the white jade thumb ring. Its color was brilliant and smooth that she could not help but reach out to touch it. The sedan bearers outside started to lift the wedding sedan. The sedan bearers that Zi Jingxing found were naturally good. The sedan was lifted stably and did not sway at all. Prince Ruai sat on a big horse and was right in front. There was a large flower that was made from red silk and the horse that was very delicate but his attitude was very lazy but elegant. Everywhere he went, the commoners cheered and laughed. This was actually valued. Even though Prince Ruai was not a person of Mingqi and the current relations between Great Liang and Mingqi was currently very delicate, the commoners seemed to have respect for Prince Ruai. Perhaps it was because the other party was generous, perhaps some felt that his appearance made one feel comfortable. In any ways Prince Ruai marrying was enough to bring joy to tens of thousands of commoners. Behind Prince Ruai, it was the wedding sedan that the sedan bearers were carrying and at both sides, the entourage was throwing prosperity money. One had heard that Prince Ruai would be walking one round the city during the marriage and to scatter money like this the entire way, it was just too generous. Further back, it was the Shen family's dowry group. The Shen family was after all not as crazy as Prince Ruai and the chests were managed well. Everyone counted and found that there was a total of 50 sets. Exactly half of the betrothal list that Prince Ruai sent over and this was not considered little at all. One had to know that when the crown prince married his consort, the dowry was only 42 sets and the Shen family had an additional 8. The most important this was that the Shen family was not a merchant family. Although they were generous, they were not considered very wealthy. With this kind of behavior, it was enough to show the position Shen Miao had in the hearts of Shen Zin and wife. Behind the crowd, Lu Zuyan was riding with the Drowie and secretly turned her head over to say to Shen Zin, "Is it good to be like this?" Shen Zin said, "Since he dared to give, we will dare to accept." Anyways, with his betrothal gifts of 99 sets, our residents cannot come out with so much dowries but any lesser would also be laughed by others. Lu Zuyan could not speak. There were 50 sets in Shen Miao's dowry and 20 of those were from Prince Ruai. That day when Prince Ruai came over to gift a wedding dress, a booklet dropped out from the box holding the wedding dress. Upon Lu Zuyan's closer look, it was related to Shen Miao's dowry. Prince Ruai also knew that his betrothal gifts were just too shocking and that the Shen family would not be able to match the dowry, thus he simply resolved the dowry issue himself. Even though there were only 20 sets, these 20 sets were packed up to the brim. Thus, like this, Prince Ruai had given the Shen family 119 sets of betrothal gifts. It was precisely because of this that Shen Kaiyu's impression of Prince Ruai turned for the better. Since the other party did not hesitate to spend money on Shen Miao's marriage, he was indeed a straightforward person. The streets were filled with drums and gongs, making it very festive. Fu Ziyi was mixed in the crowd, but he did not continue following. He only felt that this entire scene was conspicuous and his face turned cold as he turned around and walked away from the wedding sedan. Naturally, there was Emperor Wenhua, who was as uncomfortable as Fu Ziyi. Emperor Wenhua had heard from his subordinate's mouth that Prince Ruai made this wedding so magnificently that it was even grander than him, an emperor. This was slapping his face. The grander Prince Ruai held it, the more Ming-Chi's imperial family looked mournful. Of course, this was not what Emperor Wenhua felt the unhappiest about, but that he was very unwilling with this marriage. If Prince Ruai did not use the few cities along the border to threaten him, he would not make such a move. He was obviously unwilling to grant this marriage to Shen Miao, but had to pass the decree on to Prince Ruai's hand. The extremely useful chess piece of the Shen family was considered wasted like this. When Emperor Wenhua mentioned of Prince Ruai's marriage today, what appeared in his mind was the scene where Prince Ruai was in the imperial study threatening him, and he felt his chest being stuffed up and could not even breathe, thus automatically felt upset. He instructed the palace's eunuch accept the auspicious gifts that Prince Ruai sent and closed the doors before return to Yang Xindian to lie down, not allowing anyone to come to disturb. The marriage ceremony would be completed in Ming-Chi, thus the wedding sedan was carried one round around the Ding capital, but marriage was a matter of both sides. Prince Ruai's family was in Great Liang, and originally after the wedding sedan go round the city gates, it had to go directly out of the city, but Prince Ruai insisted on completing all the ceremonies in Ding capital. As for the bowing to the parents, it was held at the main altar in Ding capital. The main altar in Ding capital was only used when the emperor conferred an empress, and not to mention this was another thing that Prince Ruai requested Emperor Wenhua to provide. No matter how unwilling Emperor Wenhua was, he could only agree to it. On the altar, Mai Niangzi supported Shen Miao out of the wedding sedan carefully and followed behind Lu Zuyan and Shen Xin, who were sitting at the other end of the altar. After bowing to the heavens and earth, bowing to the parents, the couple then bowed to one another. This was Ming-Chi, so Lu Zuyan and Shen Xin naturally could receive both of couples' bow, but Prince Ruai's imperial father and imperial mother had departed from the mortal world for many years, thus both of them could only sprinkle wine on the ground and treat it as completed. At the end, it was the husband and wife who would bow to one another, and the ceremony was completed. This was announcing from then onwards, Shen Miao is the consort of Prince Ruai. When one married a chicken, one followed the chicken, and if one married a dog, one would follow the dog. She was now a person of Great Liang. In everyone's cheer and laughter, far away from the crowd, Ji Yushu was conversing with the person beside him. One really did not think that third older brother would actually marry young lady Shen. He sighed deeply. 2 years ago, I was able to see that third older brother treated the fifth Shen young lady somewhat different, and did not think that now she would become my Cao Zi. However, this is good. I had thought that with third older brother's temperament, ordinary young lady would not be control him, but fifth Shen young lady is different. With her around, I will rest assured. Just opposite him, the person standing was wearing the servant uniform of the residence of Prince Ruai, and his appearance was ordinary, but it was Pei Lang who had his features concealed. Pei Lang at the end agreed to follow Shen Miao to Great Liang. Just like what Shen Miao had mentioned, he had completely offended Fu Ziyi and could no longer say in Ming-Chi, and not to mention that it was not good for himself. he perhaps could have implicated Liu Ying. Fu Ziyi had many eyes and ears around and perhaps one day would have discovered his background, so it would be better for Liu Ying and himself to go over to Great Liang by taking the firewood from under the cauldron. When Fu Ziyi discovered anything, nothing could be done. On one hand it was for Liu Ying's good, and on the other hand, Pei Lang did it because his heart wanted to do so. As for knowing about Prince Rui's true identity of Zi Jingxing, that was a matter few days ago. He was in the residence of Prince Rui recuperating from his injuries, and when he was in the courtyard at night, he coincidentally saw Prince Rui's back facing him and went up to Great before he saw Prince Rui's real face. Prince Rui did not wear a mask. Pei Lang knew that with Prince Rui's personality, if he wanted to conceal anything, it would not be taken lightly like this. It was very obviously that he deliberately showed Pei Lang his face accidentally. Perhaps he was using his identity to make certain things clear. Now Pei Lang understood why Prince Rui did what he did. Pei Lang had been persuading Shen Miao to think carefully about the marriage with Prince Rui, as Shen Miao's understanding of Prince Rui, a Great Liang prince of the first rank, was just too shallow. But now that Prince Rui had become Zi Jingxing, a lot of matters were different. Zi Jingxing and Shen Miao knew one another and seemed to have some friendship. Since Shen Miao had long knew that Zi Jingxing's identity was Great Liang's prince of the first rank, the relationship between the both of them was not usual. He looked up at the pair who was wearing wedding clothes. With the male's talent and the female's appearance, it was an unbeatable match, and there was a feeling of sourness in his heart. For Shen Miao kind of person, even though she schemed against others and used everything that could be used by her side, she was however an extremely stubborn person. Once she had made her mind on something, no one could change it. Just like her hating Fu Ziyi, she could use all means and methods and even risk her life to draw a clear line with Fu Ziyi. In fact, if she was not willing, no one was able to force her. His gaze landed on Prince Rui. After creating such a big ruckus, forcing the imperial family of Mingqi to take every step back, who in the entire world under heavens would believe that Great Liang would be forced to relinquish to the middle ground? She was a golden phoenix that would fly to 9 heavens, and he was the true dragon that would call for rains and winds. Ji Yushu looked at him and patted his shoulders as he spoke sympathetically. A gentleman will always pursue a gentle and graceful female. Gentleman Pei need not be too upset. Upon our return to Great Liang, with Gentleman Pei's style, there would definitely be numerous females who would admire you, and at that time I will get young lady Xiao Yao to introduce some sisters to you. Although Ji Yushu still remembered that it was because of Pei Lang that he was locked up in the prison tower for a period of time, but seeing Pei Lang this sad, he was unable to throw stones when he was down. Pei Lang was startled at others being able to see the mood in his heart, but was unable to remove his eyes on the pair. Ji Yushu sighed in his heart. Zhao Yang would also be following them to return to Great Liang, but because he was Mingqi's imperial physician on paper, he had to tidy matters of his identity up. If Emperor Wenhua knew that Zhao Yang swept away all the precious herbs from the Imperial Medical Institute and brought it back to Great Liang, one did not know what kind of wondrous expression would there be. After all these were done, all the complicated ceremonious etiquette was completed meticulously. It was already in the afternoon and time to leave the city. Shen Miao marrying Prince Rui was considered as marrying afar. Going out of the Ding capital gates of Mingqi, from then onwards, she was a person of Great Liang. Naturally everyone in the Shen family followed up. Lu Dan however did not go, and said that because Shen Miao was not willing to bring her to Great Liang, she was sulking. Today she had followed her around Ding capital but was unwilling to face the goodbye scene. Everyone was helpless with her and could only let matters be. In the princess residence in Ding capital, Princess Rongzin was sitting restlessly in her room. Your Princess Highness, Prince Rui's wedding procession almost reached the gates of the city. The person who came to report said. Princess Rongzin waved her hands irritably and instructed the servants to withdraw. She fell onto the chair and bit his lips uneasily. In that letter, She had revealed Xi Jinping's true identity and she had sent the letter to the hands of Emperor Wenhu. This was her responsibility as the Princess of Mingqi. Since ancient times, loyalty and righteous had been difficult to choose as there was only one choice between family and country. Even though there were inextricably closeness between Xi Jinping and her, like a mother and son, but the distance between both countries made this feelings unfair. If Xi Jinping died because of this, Princess Rongzin would be upset, but if she did not do anything and let Xi Jinping bring this secret back to Great Liang, Princess Rongzin would regret it. So at the end, she chose to personally cut of her love and affection. As so what would happen after Xi Jinping's identity was exposed? Princess Rongzin had an understanding of this imperial older brother of hers. Perhaps because of Great Liang's power, he would not let Xi Jinping die, but it was possible for him to ruin his reputation and make tens of thousands of people resent him. With such a bad reputation, even if he returned to Great Liang, Xi Jinping's future days would not be well. Princess Rongzin chose to use a letter to explain everything and did not personally see Emperor Wenhu, as it seemed that from this way, she would be able to minimize her betrayal, as if the person who betrayed Xi Jinping was not her. But why did Emperor Wenhu not acted upon it? At present the carriage and entourage almost arrived at the city gates, and afterwards Shen Miao would disembark from the wedding sedan and enter the horse carriage before leaving Ding capital and head to Great Liang with Xi Jinping. It was not imperial older brother's behavior to drag matters on. There was some doubts in her heart and most of it was uneasiness, but Princess Rongzin was unable to take the initiative to go out to see what was going on. After all, she could not face Xi Jinping, or to be accurately say, unable to face him. Go and check it out again, she instructed another subordinate. The wedding sedan of Ruai Wang had reached the city gates and Mai Niangzi had completed the job of what a prosperity lady should do. Jings and Gu Yu then helped Shen Miao out from the wedding sedan. Xin Xin and Lu Zuyan kept on reminding Shen Miao, Great Liang is different from Mingqi. When over there, you must remember to take care of yourself. When it is cold, wear more clothes and one must take care. You have to write back frequently. If you suffer any grievances, you must tell us. Xin Xin then turned his head and spoke a few words to Xi Jinping. Both of them knew of each other's identity clearly, and since Xi Jinping told him everything honestly, Xin Xin's impression of him changed. He instructed Xi Jinping not to let Shen Miao be bullied in Great Liang, regardless of situation, and Xi Jinping naturally complied. Shen Kaiyu threatened that if the next time he saw Shen Miao and she was thinner or in a poorer condition, he would bring the Shen family army and raised the residence of Prince Ruai. Prince Ruai just snorted at it. If it was not Lu Zuyan who was holding him back, one feared that Shen Kaiyu would have fought with Xi Jinping on the spot. The time had arrived and Shen Miao spoke to Shen Xin and Lu Zuyan a few more words. She now would be leaving Ding capital, and even though she wanted to manage things in Mingqi, the far distance would not allow her to do so, thus she could only say a few more words now. Lu Zuyan wiped away her tears. Zhao Zhao, you must write back. The curtain of the carriage was let down and a long platoon of guards followed behind, carrying the heavy dowry, marching forward with an imposing manner. At the forefront, Xi Jinping was sitting on a horse, but the horse was always by the carriage side and from time to time, would be by the curtains, talking to Shen Miao. That made Jings and Gu Yu giggle about it. The roads were naturally very far and it would take a few months of travel from Mingqi to Great Liang. In the past life, she also left the city gates and went on the journey to Qin country. However, the horse carriage of a country's empress was not as comfortable as the one she was currently in, and at that time the servants and palace maids that were brought along were scarce. Needless to say, about protecting her like this or accompanying her in conversations, there was some joy in Shen Miao's heart. When it was evening, it was time to find a place to rest, and just as one was thinking about it, the entire entourage suddenly stopped. Shen Miao's heart tightened. There were often bandits on the roads outside the cities, so could it be that they had encountered bandits? But after thinking about it, Xi Jinping's subordinates were all highly skilled in martial arts, and with the large number, one feared that even if they encountered bandits, they would be able to beat them. Even though she was not afraid, There were some suspicion in her heart. She took off her veil and lifted the curtains at the carriage. When Jings and Guyu exclaimed in shock, Shen Miao had jumped off the carriage. However, one saw Zi Jingxing stop the horses in front and stood in the middle of the road, and a black-gaped man was holding the reins of a horse and stopped in front. He said, "Hey, as brothers, aren't you owing me a packet of prosperity money?" That was Su Mingfeng's voice. Most likely in order to hide from other ears and eyes, he had worn a cloak so that others would not be able to see his features. As the road so far away, he had come over way earlier, and with such distance, one do not fear that others would be able to hear this conversation. Shen Miao was slightly startled, but Zi Jingxing had already flipped over and disembarked from the horse before walking up to Su Mingfeng. Su Mingfeng took a letter out from his sleeves and slammed it onto Zi Jingxing's chest. "My gift." He then said softly, "The letter that the princess residence sent out was stopped by me." "I know." Zi Jingxing's lips was raised to a smile, "but one is thankful." Su Mingfeng was startled and his tone of voice became angry. "It is good that you know. Your hands and eyes cover the skies, and one fear that there are people lurking all over the place, that every single move in the princess residence would not pass your eyes. Even if I did not stop the letter yesterday, you will have a way to retrieve it." Zi Jingxing did not deny it. "You." Su Mingfeng grasped Zi Jingxing's collar, and his action was that of punching someone, making Jings and Guyu jump in shock, but Tai Yi and the rest did not go forward to stop. Su Mingfeng suddenly loosened his hand and said angrily, "Jerk." Zi Jingxing's eyebrows rose. "I am very happy that you are willing to send me off." Su Mingfeng was silent before speaking after a while. "It is the last time." "Send you off the last time?" He looked up. "Loyalty and righteous cannot be both accomplished, but this time I chose righteous. After this time, you and me are no longer brothers." He said, "I know your plans, so one do not need to persuade me or retain anything. Both you and me will eventually reach the point where we would be soldiers at opposite sides. After seeing one another again, we would be enemies and there would not be any emotions of the past." He was serious and said word for word, "But now, you are still Su Mingfeng's brother." There were some things in the world that would render one helpless. Due to destiny, the people dearest would become the most unfamiliar person, and when one gained anything, one had to give something up. What was retained would be the most precious. Shen Miao seemed to have saw through the two youths in front and saw that many years ago, a pair of figures that would stroll on the streets of Ding capital and would poke fun of the teacher when his back was turned. Su Mingfeng slowly clenched his fist and put it in front of Zi Jingxing. This was an action that they often do when they were young. The boys in Ding capital would often use this action as a testimony to their brotherhood. Su Mingfeng felt that this action was very chic when he was young and would get Zi Jingxing do it with him. Afterwards, when they grew older, he felt that this action was too corny and stopped. Zi Jingxing looked at him and he suddenly smiled. After shaking his head, he stretched out his arm and touched him. Su Mingfeng looked up and laughed out, "Delightful." He then flipped to the horse that he came on and said to Zi Jingxing, "Once this day passes, both of us are no longer brothers. However, the sun has yet to set and the moonlight has not shone, so you and I are still best friends." He whipped the horse's belly and the horse neighed. Su Mingfeng turned the horse's head and left. "Today I will congratulate you once again. From this day forth, may you have no worries of clothes and food, may you have lots of children and grandchildren, may all your guests be of exalted rank and have may happy returns to eternity." The voice of the always refined youth was straightforward, and the end of the sentence gradually disappeared in the evening sun and one could only see a back view. Zi Jingxing's brows and lips were smiling, but his eyes gradually cooled down before he got up the horse again. He shouted, "Depart."